different kinds of adjusters. So there's three types of adjusters. And this is actually a disclosure that we as public insurance adjusters need to have on our agreement before a family has us be part of their claim and help them negotiate with their carrier. It's an important thing. So let me go over what it is. There's three types of adjusters, okay? There is the insurance company adjuster, there's independent adjusters, and there's public insurance adjusters. Three kinds of adjusters, okay? Number one, insurance adjusters. Insurance adjusters are those that represent the insurance company, that represent the carrier. That's one kind of adjuster. So when someone tells me my insurance company adjuster is coming next week at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, I say, no, State Farm adjuster is coming next week at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, because that's really truly the insurance company adjuster. That's not your adjuster. That's one kind of adjuster. The second type of adjuster is independent adjusters, which is probably what you're going to see right after a disaster, right after a big, like the wildfires. You're going to have independent adjusters from everywhere coming in. And you may have 10 different independent adjusters. You may have just a turnover over and over and over again of different independent adjusters. There's adjusters that come in and all they do is come and take pictures and do estimates, and then your file continues to get given to someone new. That's why documentation is the most important thing, because John may say it's okay for you to do X, Y, and Z, and then Mary, the next independent adjuster, says, no, 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 that's not the way we do it here. But if you have that documentation, you have an email, you have a letter, you have that in writing that John said this, then that protects your interest, because you may have multiple adjusters on your claim. The last type of adjuster, I say, of course I'm biased, is the best adjuster, and that truly is your adjuster. It's a public insurance adjuster. It is that individual that actually is able to represent the interests of your family. A public insurance adjuster is someone that works on your behalf, that is the mediator between you and the insurance company to make sure that you, the policyholder, gets a fair settlement. Our job is to bring all the documentation that is needed to document your claim and to actually prove why certain things should be paid on your claim. As an example, a public insurance adjuster does an estimate. It's the replacement cost that you're entitled to. The same with your personal property. We do an inventory. It's the replacement cost that you're entitled to on most homeowners policies that I have seen in 37 years. That's what you're entitled to. That's what your insurance company should pay you. What insurance companies save millions and perhaps billions of dollars after a disaster is in this alone. And this is my experience, what I saw in Paradise. They come in and they pay policyholders 70% of their limits on personal property. And they say, well, if you do an inventory, we'll pay you the 30%. They know that an inventory is draining. They know that it takes a long time, and it is a very emotional experience for any policyholder. I don't care what age or who you are. I used to do nothing but inventories. I've been doing claims for 37 years, became a public adjuster 33 years ago. But the first 4 years of my line of work, I did inventories. And on the side of the insurance company, most times, I did reconstruction on the side of the insurance company most times. So I saw a lot of families go through very difficult times. An inventory, it should be where we as experts come into a home and we're able to do an inventory in a few hours because we've done it over and over and over again. Sometimes you can sit with grandma for 4 or 5 days, just having a real difficult time. And as an expert, hopefully you stop. Sometimes it could take 2 weeks to finish that inventory. Sometimes it could take a month, and that's okay. What we do as public adjusters is we sit, hopefully, we sit and we meet our clients right where they're at. That is, I believe, where we as public insurance adjusters earn our fee the most. It's not that we don't negotiate probably 40 to 60% more on your dwelling claim, and we negotiate on business interruption and all these different things. Yeah, we do. We make a difference on every coverage that you have, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner. But I believe when you have a home and we're doing an inventory, that is the hardest job to do, because it's where you have to go back and remember that you lost your wedding dress. There was a woman yesterday that lost her ring, and her husband, she's a widow. She's a widow. She was married 43 years. That ring was important. And shout out to Willie, a pastor that spent hours with a team sifting through, looking to locate that ring, because that was the most important thing to this woman, right? That's where we make a difference, is sitting there. We already know, right? We already know, and I'll do a video of how we already know what is about 80%, I would say, of what a homeowner has inside their home before we ever came into that home. And there's a formula to it all. Hope that this video helps you. What is the difference between the different kinds of adjusters? Number one is there is insurance company adjusters. The State Farm, the Allstate, the USAA, those adjusters represent the company. And sometimes even with those adjusters, you have an in-house adjuster, and then you have a field adjuster. So it gets even more complicated. But to make things simple, there are three: insurance company adjusters, there's independent adjusters, which are usually the ones that are hired right after a disaster, right after the wildfires. And then there's public insurance adjusters, the good kind. I like to think that you are looking for the good kind. You are looking for someone that is actually able to talk to your insurance company, that knows the lingo, that knows exactly what you're entitled to, and that we're able to negotiate on your behalf and get you the maximum pay so that you and your family does not get burned.